So you all should be able to see me in there, right? Red, orange, and yellow guy. And this is going to work out for the most part. So because me being red, orange, and yellow means I'm the hottest thing inside the video right now. So, and that kills with bachelorette parties, ladies, just so y'all know. We're looking for blue and black. So we're looking for the blue and black to either start taking shape on their own or to start moving on their own. The cool thing about this video that you're going to get back is that there's a blue dot bouncing around the screen. That blue dot is showing you the coldest spot in the frame at that particular moment, and it does stay on your video. So that kind of helps guide your eye on where you need to be looking when you're getting your video back. So.
Okay, but let me ask you something. So if I'm holding that device and I happen to see a little blue dot, what do I do?
So
hey,
that,
I gotta go.
The blue dot is always going to be there. Now, in the event that blue dot, I normally look for 15 to 20 degree temperature drops. So if the ambient temperature tonight is 70 degrees, which it is, I'm looking for 55 and lower. So if that blue dot starts to read 55 and lower and it's not the sky, like we're going to start either debunking it right away or we're going to start proving it right away. So again, that person would actually keep the camera on that particular area while we get some temperature changes, like live thermometers we're going to be using, so to kind of verify everything. Let's see, where do I want to go with this one? Brittany, you want this one down there? All right, so you're going to hold this right-handed. Keep the camera on your left at all times. I'm going to stop. Ree and you and I are going to talk about that right now. So everybody else, let's spread out, stay away from the cars. I'm going to be bouncing around with all of you, taking notes here in just a minute.
Okay.
All right.
Got a few. I mean, I had the blue lights over there. You weren't coming.
You said doing time? What was the
Only time.
Only time. Okay. I don't know what the 1953 is.
I don't know. That was clear.
Yeah.
Clear was 1953.
I don't know what that is.
That was the clearest thing I've had on the whole time is 1953.
Okay. The weird thing about this is this is a bleed over space. So we were just talking about Big John's. We're still
Yeah.
only 1 block away. You
Yeah.
might get things from either way. That might be the year that you stopped buying.
Yeah.
So I'll look at that and see if that's last year. But yeah, you had a very specific year show up. So
That was the only thing loud and clear.
Names and numbers usually don't lie. You said you had a 10.1?
I had 10
Right back here.
Yeah, I forgot where that. So kind of, again, we're going to escalate it. Nothing below 10.1 at this point.
Okay.
She got a 15 on hers on the other one back there. But again, I told you, it's a little bit more sensitive. So again, things were kind of lining up the way they normally do. So if she has a 15, that means you're probably going to see an 8 to 10 kind of mentality.
Okay.
So anything crazy going on with your camera?
Nah,
I'll
no.
be honest, with cameras, I don't always follow up like I do with the spirit boxes in real
No,
time.
no, no. I understand that because camera is just like that's
Yeah.
self.
Right.
Like,
Well, not to
that's-
mention, I send those to YouTube, so you can watch them however you
Yeah.
want to. Your TV, your computers, your
Absolutely.
phones, whatever.
Don't worry, if something sparks,
We'll
you'll
do
know
a
for
debriefing
me.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. And it's
We'll
gonna take you a
get
long damn time to do
together.
it too. So you're gonna have
Yeah.
to split up the jobs.
I definitely
You
investigate
got
a lot.
You got
But
anything coming up out of there?
I don't know. Mean anything?
What was that? Where did that come from? Oh, of course. So that's not yet. We're gonna go through the history here. So this is Philadelphia Alley now. It used to be called Dueler's Alley. This is actually where some of the so this is where some of the duels used to occur for the city of Charleston. So we all talk about one specific duel. Again, that's why it's kind of a staple for Charleston. Every tour comes down here, but we're going to talk about this a little bit differently because you're ghost hunting. You know, you need a little bit more details like initials and things like that. So let's get to it. There was a doctor that moves down here from Rhode Island. His name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. So if you guys hear the term brown-eyed girl, that actually shows up here quite a bit. Obviously relevant. Now, he moves down here because he's supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda. Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her dead parents. She has an attorney helping her out with all of this cash flow. The attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after Amanda's money. So he tells Amanda to get rid of the doctor. He comes to Charleston to prove that he's not just after her money. He's going to start his new practice down here. The coachman that brought him into town set him up to be robbed and killed. It wasn't a good start. Somebody was walking by. His name was Ralph Isaacs. I'm going to stop on Ralph because he has the same initials as where the doctor came from. Rhode Island, Ralph Isaacs. 2 different characters. Secondary clue is needed here. So Ralph tells the doctor, dude, you don't want to stay here. He didn't say dude, by the way. This is he. You guys get it. He says, you don't want to stay here. I know this guy. He's going to try to kill you and try to take all your cash. But I have some friends at 59 Church Street. You can follow me there and they'll rent you a room. And you'll be good to go. Number 59, obviously relevant to the location. You know the lot. Dr. Ladd takes him up on the offer. They become friends. The longer the doctor stays here in Charleston, the more money he's making. His practice takes off. Amanda gets wind that he's making his own money, proving his point, and she's going to be moving down so they can get married. Now, Dr. Ladd becomes known as the whistling doctor. Every cliche story that you're going to find in a haunted city has a whistling ghost. I'm just going to point it out there.
No, she said volunteer. That's relevant to me.
Why is that relevant to you?
I had a radio station, wanted to. My husband died. He on the station. Brandon's daddy.
Brandon's daddy.
What was his name? Okay, very interesting. That's all I want to know at this point. Again, I'm the guy that doesn't want to know all the information.
Okay.
Here's how I got booted out of the alley. This is the fun part, everybody. Now, this alley, didn't always go all the way through. So this way, so it's kind of cut off. This is where they kept some of the livestock for the city of Charleston, because this was part of the walled city. So that means those bricks down there, they're older than the ones we're standing on, because they've been there longer. Those are sun-dried bricks from slave children. There's a full handprint from one of those slave children down there inside one of the bricks, and some fingerprint swipes on some of the bricks to the left. I'm sure you guys realize I'm all about history at this point, and I used to take my groups all the way through before I knew my boundaries. I was in the wrong by taking my groups through there, because everybody wants to try to get a reading out of that one brick with the handprint in it, and that kid is not staring at that brick in the afterlife. I moved my group, trying to scoot them along, on November 26th of 2020. Yes, the date's irrelevant. I'm going to get to that. The new neighbor who owns the mansion at the end of the alley, it's outside his dining room window. He was not very happy with us. So I scooted us along. He came out screaming and yelling. My daughter thought it was funny because Dad's getting yelled at. And we moved on. The next day was Thanksgiving. I did not have a tour that day because I worked in retail management for over 20 years. I'm never working another Thanksgiving ever. And most of those years were with Walmart. So put that in the back of your brain. The next day, November 28th, I get a phone call asking me to go down halfway, which is what we're allowed to do. As far as tours, that's kind of our limit. Or to reroute my entire group. I decided it wasn't fair for my group of 10 to try to investigate around 20 to 60 other people when this is a popular July stop. So I told the story outside the alley, and I told my tour, we're going to reroute, and we're going to see what happens. I don't really believe in this story because I've never had anything come out of it. So you can see, obviously, it's another experimental thing that we were doing. So before we left, somebody hears the name Anne on a spirit box. I did not tell them we were going to be investigating the female pirate Anne Bonny.
Oh,
yeah. So I was like, oh shit, now we got something going on. So we get up there, and I told what little bit I did know about piracy. I'm a vampire guy, not a pirate person. So a little bit of pirate stuff I did tell them. Somebody else hears the number 300. So I was kind of like, all right, I don't know what that is. I'm going to look it up tomorrow. We were there November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy was November 28th of 1720. We were there on the exact 300-year anniversary.
wow.
So I keep taking you guys back up there in hopes that we're going to continue to find more. And it is a hit or miss location. Worst case scenario, you're going to learn a whole hell of a lot about pirates that you never knew before. I have had to read more books trying to piece together a factual investigation based on pirate lore. I don't want to say, like, be grateful that I have a master's degree in creative writing, but that's difficult to do based on the amount of things that are out there about this young lady. So again, it's a very colorful story, we'll say that much. Especially knowing what I know about this group, you guys should appreciate it. So we're going to keep that in mind. Those of you with cameras, have we heard or seen anything crazy since we've been here?
No.
Something just went by? Okay. More things for me to debunk. Perfect.
I just keep hearing it's more than a
That was
feeling.
my buddy.
More than a feeling.
That's the song I keep hearing.
What's funny is most of the other tours, when they're down here, they usually encourage people to take pictures with their phones because they can feel the orbs. And I call bullshit because you can't feel the orbs unless you see it show up on an EMF detector and then on a camera.
I feel like it's bugging in front of me.
Yeah, exactly. So again, we get a lot of bugs down here. By the way, this is one of the most picturesque places that we have in Charleston. I know people usually Insta on Rainbow Row and all that stuff, but you can see the alley and how beautiful it is.
Yeah.
And it is like this day or night. One last thing before we leave the space, just to kind of draw some more time into your spirit boxes, the gate behind me. There's a reason why it's there. In the event that there was a loser to the duel, I want you to remember that the alley didn't always go all the way through. This was a shortcut to get to St. Philip Cemetery. Otherwise, you'd have to carry the dead body all the way down to the end of the alley and down and around back up to the cemetery. So they created this hole in the wall to actually have somewhere so they could go celebrate the winter quicker. Not a whole lot of people actually know why this gate is here. The gate itself was not here, so it would have just been kind of a passageway. And the other side is a courtyard that does belong to St. Philip's. So we're going to go up and around a corner. It's a very popular spot. Oh, we have the word mirror, by the way. Is that correct? We're going to be passing a building, and I don't normally bring it up unless it actually comes up on a spirit box in some way, shape, or form. The building, as we go up to the next corner, on your right-hand side, it's a regular brick building. It used to be a restaurant, and part of the reason why it's not open anymore is because the place is too haunted. But our apartment's upstairs, and the bathroom mirror falls off the wall and does not break.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So the word mirror is relevant to our space. Again, a little bit of bleed over here. So let's go talk about some crazy pirates, and let's go see if we can hear or see up there. If you wanted to turn on, like, unmute yours, Abby, you're good. Just.
That'll spike you. Here, touch your pants.
You can help it. so aggressive.
I'm turning this shit on.
Don't worry, we won't leave it. Am I supposed to be recording?
Yes, he said.
Y'all, I'm saying. Shit ain't getting shit. You gotta turn the wheels, bro.
Hey, you gotta turn a little bit. I throw apart.
They were like, you guys like have like readers and stuff like that.
Audi. That one?
They're just coming down that way, so which way?
Brittany, or Abby, will you take this under the bathroom?
Alright.
And I can walk it directly to the wall.
Yeah, because I normally take it to the back. Okay. Yeah.
And get back to somebody. Where are you going?
Right down here, and then I'm going to make back up with y'all.
Yeah, we're going to get this back.
Does it meet you where?
Right there by the ivy wall.
Okay, got it. Where's the door?
Bathroom. It's probably a hot spot where they are, isn't it?
Yes and no. They're usually pretty quick about being in and out of there.
Gotcha.
We're actually going to go to this corner. I was looking to see where he was going to go. Who did we lose to the restroom? Who was that?
Ella.
Ella and two, I think it was KERRI.
Yeah, so KERRI is getting an Uber for Melissa.
Gotcha.
Who doesn't feel like well. So she's getting her an Uber. She's going to wait with her. So I'm going to go ahead and continue on, which is fine because I record everything anyway. So we should be down to 7. 7. Perfect. All right. Oh, that was quick. Good deal.
Can't listen to two
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be long. It's Friday night.
You gotta listen. I can't listen to two things at once. This shit's hurting my ears.
So
Sorry.
choose one.
I'm like, I can't.
All
What
right.
the hell?
Anything weird along the way here?
The only word today.
The only word today.
No, the word today.
Oh. I thought you gave me the...
No, just today. The only word I heard was today.
Digital Brandon think.
Shit, it's my ears.
All right. Go ahead and mute for me. This is normally my last stop, just so you know, but we are going to one more space after.
Control.
So, kind of keep in mind, this would normally be my big finale. We're talking pirates. So, we're going to be discussing the little tiny building over there with the crosses on it. Those are not crosses, by the way. Those are earthquake bolts. If you're not familiar with earthquake bolts, they're basically turnbuckles. In the event that we have another earthquake, like what we did in 1886, which we have not, you can turn the turnbuckles, and it's supposed to tighten the building to keep it straight,
No
to
shit.
not incur any more damage.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great idea, but the shit doesn't work. The only reason I bring it up is because those are the oldest earthquake bolts that we have in Charleston.
That's really cool.
It's the first set that they put in because this is the oldest government building in South Carolina. It was finished in 1713, which brings me to why we're here. This is what I call a familiar ghost. The Pinckney Mansion and Philadelphia Alley are both considered intelligent ghosts because we can ask questions in there, stir some things up, and get some direct answers. This location is a hit or miss because we have other buildings around this time frame, but we are here because this building was being constructed at the same time that Anne Bonny came to the Charleston area to start her new life. follow me. There's a lot of twists on this one, by the way. I'll slow down on the twists.
Okay.
The building took 10 years to build. Does that sound like our government? Small building, 10 years? No, not at all.
Not at all.
So, finished in 1713. Our story actually begins in 1708. Young lady moves here from Ireland. Her name is Anne Cormac. She moves here with her father and the father's mistress. The father's mistress is Anne's mother. Is everybody with me so far?
Mm-hmm.
The three of them are running away from her father's angry wife. If I say that all too fast, everybody gets confused and
Totally
says,
got it.
Got it. Perfect. Now, with that said, I was just wondering, this is a very popular tour area. By the way, that building with the mirror is right over there with the white window
Throw
system.
them out of here. They're not welcome.
No, that's fine. We're getting into their turf, basically.
I'll kick 'em out.
Now, Anne back home in Ireland is kind of a badass. She, at the age of 7, 8, 9 years old, they say she killed one of her servants with a knife to the belt. So
Wow.
when I say 7, 8, 9 years old, we're talking pirate lore. Every
Yeah.
story has a different age. Now, they land in Georgetown when they move here. Dad bought a plantation. Mom died pretty quickly. That means you have to send young Anne down here. Everything's very familiar for certain buildings. That's why we're here. It's a familiar. It's almost the same principle of using a toy to attract a child ghost. It's the same kind of principle. I'm sure you guys have seen that on your TV shows. So, I got that all mixed up actually a little bit. So now I'm done. Oh, we're going to fast forward. 1713, the building is done. Pirates are coming through town in 1715. Anne is stoked. Why? She wants to fall in love so she can earn her freedom, just like a man, because it's a man's world at this point. First guy she falls in love with. Yes, I said first because there's a good handful of them. James Bonny. You already kind of know where this one's going, right? Dad didn't approve, filthy pirate. They run away to Jamaica, they get married. Anne Cormac is now Anne Bonny, the famous female pirate. So, this guy is not the Captain Jack Sparrow that she was hoping for. This guy is a privateer. He's a spy for the British. He's a coward in her eyes. So a few years later, she falls in love again. John Rackham, a.k.a. Calico Jack. This is literally the person they based your Captain Jack Sparrow character on. So, yeah, exactly. So this is the Captain Jack Sparrow she was hoping for. You guys get the point, right?
Yeah.
Jack has his own ship. Can't put a girl in a pirate crew.
Nope.
Why?
It's bad luck.
It's bad luck.
The
Right.
ship will wreck.
Jack
Yes,
makes a
Abby.
deal with Ian and says, if you want to be part of the crew, you're going to dress like a guy to look like the crew, but you're going to be a female in my quarters. She's okay with this because Dad, back home in Ireland, used to cross-dress her as a boy, apprentice, to keep her away from his wife, just so he can spend some time with her. So she knows it's a man's world, let's do this. We're all adults here, put two and two together. Being a female in his quarters, she's eventually going to get pregnant. You cannot have a pregnant pirate dude on the crew. Somebody's going to figure out that she's a girl. So he drops her off in Cuba before she starts the show and says, these are friends of mine, they'll help you with the baby, come back later, we'll figure it out. She goes and has the baby, but returns with no baby. We have no idea what happened to the child. She's also dressed like a female, which makes Jack pretty pissed off. Everybody's going to find out now that he let a girl on the crew, but while she was away
Something has
getting...
to do with California?
No, definitely no California in this story. He captured another pirate crew while she was gone giving birth to his baby. She's going to go flirting with that pirate crew down below deck to make him even more mad because that's who this young lady is. Guy number 3. Guy number 3 turns out to be a female, dressed like a guy to be part of the pirate crew that Calico Jack captured. So now we have 2 females on the same ship, basically pretending to be men. Her name is Mary Reed. She went by Mark Reed to become a pirate. Her and Mary Reed become friends, possibly lovers. We're never going to really know for sure, but the British find out where they are. They send a fleet of ships to come and take them down. Anne and Mary, rumor has it that they were the only 2 pirates not drunk enough to come up and fight because the other ones were too drunk. So they came up with their 1-bullet flintlocks trying to take on a whole fleet of ships. That's not going to work out because they don't know how to use the cannons yet. They get arrested. And as they're being arrested, she looks at her captain, her beau, Calico Jack, and she tells him, you should have fought like a man instead of being hanged like a dog. The word dog shows up here a lot, by the way. The judge, his name is Nick as well, so if you guys hear or see my name, it's usually him, not me. There's actually 3 Nicks in this location. But he wants to see the 2 men that fought back so valiantly on their own, and after he's already tried and hung Calico Jack and the drunk pirates that wouldn't fight. So the 2 ladies go in front, they reveal their gender, he doesn't give a shit that they're female, they're still pirates, he's still gonna hang them. We plead our bellies was the last thing they screamed out, because you cannot hang a pregnant woman in 1720.
Wow.
It's illegal.
Yep.
They're trying to save themselves. He says fine. He delays the hanging, sends them both back to jail, but Dad is still up here in South Carolina with all of his Irish money. He was an attorney back home, and he saved a little bit. He bails out Anne, brings her back home. She remarries. That's husband number 2, but guy number 4, because we're going to count Mary Reed. We don't really know. And she has 4 kids, dies at the age of 84. Yes, very abrupt ending, because we don't know much about her after her pirate career. As far as Mary Reed goes, she died a year later in that Jamaican jail from whatever pirates died from in a Jamaican jail. So, use your imagination. Most books and articles will tell you that it was fever or something very basic. I'm going to say bullshit and probably scurvy, nastiest, whatever you guys want to come up with. So, use your imagination. Make it romantic for yourself. The only two things I left out of this location are the names of Anne Bonny's parents. That's the father and his mistress. You can ask what those are. You can also ask the name of Calico Jack's ship in this location.
Mount Simmons.
Anything with Betty?
Not Betty, but Simmons is relevant to an alley I did not take you to tonight. That's very
I just got
weird.
Mount Simmons.
Very interesting.
It's my buddy.
Now, with yours, Kaylin, you're going to be asking Anne Bonny for her hair color.
Okay.
And hopefully she's going to show you what that hair color is. We're not going to spend a lot of time here because we're going to know within 5 minutes. Before we spread out, here's why I give that heated warning at the top of the tour that I talked about with the headache and all of that. A year ago this past September, I actually brought my team back here, just like I always do, and the kid next to me goes white as a ghost. He's about to drop. It's nice and cool, he's not overdressed, and I have to pick him up by his armpit so he doesn't hit his head on the ground. His boyfriend picked him up from the other side of him, and we got him over to that wall so he could sit down, and we got him feeling better. After I spread everybody out with their devices, they pull me aside and tell me that they are 2 transgender males. Meaning I had 2 females dressed as males, just like Anne and Mary in the story, on the tour.
Wow.
This is the weird shit that I see, everybody. And these are the reasons why I give that heated warning. Psychics and mediums normally don't make it past the Pinckney Mansion site because of the high EMFs that we can get in that space. It's just too much for them to handle. So, we're going to spread out in this lot. Again, be mindful of other tours, other vehicles, and then, come see me. I'll probably be wrapping us up over by that wall, and then we're going to talk about the answers to that and see what we actually found in real time, and then we're going to go off to that last space to go experiment. Again, I won't have some big elaborate story like this one, so this would normally be the finale. Let's
No, I'm like, I like this story.
And let's see what's, I know, but there's a little bit of a story there. It's a little bit creepy.
Okay, good.
Here going on. Getting into the Pinckney Mansion site. There's a recent death that's tied to that Big John's alley. And I don't know why.
Sean Paul?
Yeah.
I keep getting Sean Kingston.
I keep hearing temperature by Sean Paul.
I keep getting temperature by Sean Kingston.
No, but
Not
guess
Sean
what?
Paul. Sean Kingston.
Well, I'll tell you, there ain't a drop in temperature.
It's Beautiful Girls.
Who sings temperature?
Temperature is Sean Paul.
Fuck, that's what I keep getting then.
Yeah.
I've had it 3 times.
All right, who got the flask?
We're just all here in the same trip.
Oh, you got a ghost on you.
Holding me back. No, it's not exploring.
She was going in front of my camera. It's funny.
That one's not as good. Calm's tricked up. Did you get any more? Oh, construction.
Oh, don't need a car.
Look at this. We're done here.
Okay.
And he said that where we were at Big John's. Huh?
Getting hurt ear.
Who?
Bro, I gave it all. Everybody's got it. They've been in my pants. I at least return it. No, all the plants are fucking cold.
Oh.
Guess what I just got? Here, that's something.
No, you didn't. I ain't been around for that, so it ain't shit to me. What?
I got West Virginia. Mountain Mama. Take me home. I got a lot.
What do you got?
We both had, what do we have? Getting pictures. Screaming. This is so loud. We both do. We both got the numerous times. I got West Virginia. And then I've got different levels of things. If you need anything on your moderate, hi.
Kerri, what do you got?
I got in 17 years, and I got
Like screams.
you get it too? Well, we both got temperature. Yeah, I got 1961 and West Virginia. Your husband? Webb, Ascend, Schwack.
What you got?
Nothing. Just laugh at it.
Don't worry, I don't have anything.
Finally got something. You have to remember, this whole corner is like 15 different stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
like, just like that mirror thing that showed me, like that's part of it. Did we get the color red at all?
Once, and then we got a lot of orange.
Orange and red. All right, I'm excited about black. Here's why I'm excited about black.
Lady.
What's the first pirate you think of when you
Blackbeard.
Blackbeard? Correct. So there is a story about Blackbeard about this location, and it's somewhat nearby. So there's two different sides to this cemetery. So this is where, if you're not from here and you belong to the church, this is the side you get buried on. On the other side of that is what we call the pirate house. That's where Blackbeard's men would actually come in off their ships and have a place to stay, meet with a few ladies. You can't miss it when you're walking around town. It has an anchor on the front of it. But again, somebody lives there. You can't go in the pirate courtyard without pissing somebody off. Trust me, I've already been there. Again, I'm all about pissing off some of the neighbors. I'm sure you guys figured that
I
out.
work in sales, I got an
But Black showed up on that guy. And you have the word lady. We do get a lot of genderized female terms around this location. For example, a lot of times, I'll say at least once or twice a week, we will hear the song lyric directly, "Girls just want to have fun." The other piece, it was about a year and a half ago, I can't remember exactly, but I was doing my spot check like I normally do, and I heard two DJs, like females, laughing their asses off, screaming, "They think we're guys!" Like, this is shit I can't make up. Like,
Wow.
And that's one that stuck with me about this specific location. But again, you haven't really given me anything else. Like, I have the 61, like that's another great number. But again, that fire did not come up this far, but we did have the word burn show up on the word list as well. There's a fire associated with the church, so I'm going to dive into that and kind of see if there's a relation there. But again, nothing is screaming like Anne Bonny, piracy, ships, that kind of thing. For lovers, all of that mentality. So, the quick answers to the questions that I gave you. Anne's parents, William Cormack, Mary Brennan. none of you were expecting a secondary Mary. So again, we had Mary Reed, the lover. Mary Brennan is the mom. That was not a subliminal trick. It was just happened to be that way. Calico Jack. The name of his ship was called the Kingston. And part of the reason why they called him Calico Jack.
You did say that.
What did you hear?
Well,
I said
I thought
we
Temperature
kept
was
hearing the
by
same
Sean
song,
Kingston,
and
so
I
I
said
said
Sean
sing
Paul, and
Sean
she said no,
Kingston.
it's Sean Kingston.
I don't know who actually sings it.
It's Sean Paul, but
I
you
doubt
kept
that
saying
Calico
Kingston.
Jack knows who that is.
I
But
thought
she
so.
said
I agree.
Kingston.
Yeah.
I have to agree with that.
Now, the weird thing about Calico Jack and why they called him that is because his father was a tailor. So textiles were very important to Calico Jack. And the reason why they called him that is because he used to wear the jackets from the British captains that he killed. Calico Jack, fancy jacket. Kind of see where that name comes from.
I'm getting in the orange and the red.
Like, we don't normally get EMF over here. Was the camera too close?
I think so. I had it over here.
Okay. Oh, there's another one. And then you actually had some...
Hang on.
You had orange and red too.
Yeah.
So, wow. So you had motion, and then we got a little bit of EMF.
Anything on the camera?
I've been recording this whole time.
Been recording this whole time. I never pressed stop.
Isn't that where the gunpowder room used to be
No,
at,
you're
though,
good.
in that
You're good.
building?
Keep it going. What's that?
Isn't that the gunpowder place they used to hold things? That's why I was thinking burn and fire, but that's...
So here's the
Besides the
funny
point,
thing
I don't
about
know.
the way the building is designed.
Yeah.
Those shingles that you guys were seeing, I just found out that you guys are obviously all locals on this end, so I didn't know that. So it's kind of good that you're getting weird history from me.
Yeah.
Those shingles actually have sand underneath them. So in the event that it got hit from a pirate ship or a Revolutionary War ship, first off, it's not going to make it this far. That's why it's up this far.
Yeah.
It's inside the original Charlestown walls. It's right at the corner. But if it does come this far and blows up the gunpowder, the sand goes up in the air and is supposed to fall to put out the fire of the gun. Of the gunpowder.
Smart.
It's another great
Smart.
idea, but that shit don't work either.
Yep.
I was gonna say,
We had another powder magazine closer to like Magazine Street, and it obviously blew up because it's much closer to the water, and the sand went up, but the building burned to the ground. The sand is still there because when they turned this into a museum, they had to do some repairs and remove and fix some of those shingles. The sand is still intact because sand does not disintegrate, and it's not being compressed with heat, so it's not turning into glass. So again, it's still up there. It's a very interesting building if you've never seen the inside of it. Just the design of it alone
Yeah.
it is very interesting to me. But I'm the history nerd, so
Hey,
that's-
just like
that's
the
my
dungeon.
bad.
Just
I don't
like the
really go
dungeon.
into all that until somebody asks me a direct question about it. All right, so we're going to go up to this next space. It's about 2 blocks from here. It's at Washington Square. The story that we're going to piece together there is hopefully going to be wrapped around one person. So when we do go up there, it is part of another location, but we are not going to pass it because it's even further away. So I'm going to kind of give you the brief history of what I do know about this particular person, which is where we got clues from that person last night. So I was stoked when things started coming through. Like, we had this guy's exact death year.
Wow.
Which was very cool. Like, it showed up like as soon as we walked in. It was very interesting. So it was very cool stuff. So again, we're going to take a hike. Those of you with cameras, I wouldn't bother filming until we get up to Washington Square. And that's another busy tour area, but it seems like we were pretty comfortable in there last night. It is kind of dark. There's lots of trees, so we shouldn't get a whole lot of sky in our video on your end, Brittany, so you should be good to go in there.
Cool.
But yeah, kind of bear with me. Anybody want to time how long it takes us to get there?
Abby can.
Come on.
My phone's already running like 4
ask the
operations.
mom.
And that's fast, Mom. I got this.
She got like 3 phones in this bag.
See her.
She got a damn stopwatch.
All right. It's not that we didn't capture anything here, but it's a matter of like we have very vague clues. I don't want
Right.
to waste time at a location where we're getting vague clues. Kerri, how are you doing on that thing? You doing better? You getting the gist of it now?
I got it.
Have you heard anything since we've been here?
Not yet. Just the 17 of the screens.
Okay. 17
17
screens.
years.
17.
But remember that the building was finished in 1713. So we might have a 13 somewhere else.
Okay.
So, all right, let's go up to Washington Square. Let's go see what we
I
can
wish
find.
this thing had numbers too.
We started the one I
Start your video.
I did.
be honest.
Nothing, man. Nothing. That was cold for a good bit.
Just take pictures of whatever you
Hell yeah.
And then I heard firework on it, and then they were just singing.
Yeah, but then she heard the name, which is actually relevant. What else did we hear? You guys said you had some paranormal activity because you were lagging behind. What you got?
The street. I don't know what street it was.
What happened?
Not this one, but the one before we turned over the street.
Okay.
It was yellow and orange.
Oh, that's because of the crosswalk. He was considered a laureate of poets. Basically, he was the voice of poetry for the poets. Interesting thing about Henry Timrod is he is said to actually haunt the Charleston Library Society, which is about a block down. I'm sorry, about a block down.
Check out the
Sorry, I
benches.
almost twisted around.
Not interesting. Choose both of them? Yeah.
Essays and poetry is all at the Charleston Library Society. So things that happened over there is where books would fall off the shelves and that kind of thing. And there was a particular book in there that Henry was working on when he died. They'll tell you that he was kicked out of the Confederate Army because he was too sick to fight. So they sent him back. He was working on a new piece, and he had tuberculosis. So his last page that he was writing, he actually coughed on the page, and it was all blood. They only show this book in the showroom on Halloween. It is called The Blood Book. The interesting thing about the blood book is that the cough of phlegm and blood that he left on the page looks like a man writing. Yes. Now, I will tell you that I did do this is where I did some research on this gentleman today, and I found it very interesting that a poem that he wrote called Charleston, The Last Stand. I'm going to actually, it's 4 lines, and it's actually kind of creepy and dark all on its own right, just based on where we are. Why is my tablet not turning on? There we go. So, found the stanza, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool to read at the actual told. So, that last stanza reads, "We know not in the temple of the fates, God has inscribed her doom, and all untroubled in her faith she waits, the triumph or the tomb." So basically he's saying that Charleston is awaiting their own fate, based on the war that was going on. This man died in 1867, but was born in 1829. He was only 48 years old when he passed away. So, these are the very few clues that I have about this man. That he was a poet. His wife's name that he wrote in a poem, her name was a she, which is why when she heard Katy Perry, it is not funny. It is actually relevant to her case. So, I'm very excited about that. Last time we had the very specific year of 1829 show up, and the phrase, "Where's John?" And I don't know who the hell John is yet. At least in relation to
John Tecklenburg.
I'm hoping.
We were talking about that man. That took a
Processing baby and what?
hole.
So, we're going to explore this space. You guys can tell me what you're hearing, and we're going to kind of figure things out. Stay out of the way of the other tours. Obviously, we're talking about the 4 corners of the wall over there, so we're going to let them have their space. But, for those of you, where's my camera? No, the digital camera. Perfect. Lots of pictures in here for me. The slower movements with your camera. I'm hoping we're going to capture some boards. You don't have to necessarily stay around this bust. I want to see what else we can capture. There might be something else going on here that I don't know about yet. But the Henry Timrod story, oh, I didn't show you the comic flag. You all want to see that, right?
Yeah, I do. I was gonna say, like, were they able to make anything out of what it looks like in writing or anything?
It was, the last line reads, "Beholder of brief mortality," was the last line that he wrote before he died. this is that page.
Oh snap!
You can see where it
see
looks
it.
like
Oh
a
my
man
God.
writing.
That's
Yeah.
really
Yeah, it does.
cool.
That's cool.
That was cool.
Oh, that's wild. That's cool.
This is the blood book that they show every Halloween. So, again, I found it I'd heard this story before on another tour, and I was like, oh, that would be cool to add to mine, but I didn't really, you can't go into the Charleston Library Society to, but then I found this bust here last night, I'm like, no shit.
That's
Like,
awesome.
so
Yeah,
I
that's
was kind of
wild.
like, yeah, let's check this out, get us some clues,
That's cool.
turn them spirit boxes up, remember,
Hell yeah.
don't interrupt the other tours, have some fun, let's do this, last up.
I'm talking to him. You see anything around me?
Somebody's sitting next to you.
Nuh-uh.
I'm fucking with you.
It's going the fuck off right now.
No, come here.
Right here? Should I sit next to him? Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
My ass is wet. Yeah. You have anything you want to say?
You guys getting anything over here?
We had
Lot
some
of
cold
red.
action over here, and then I got her to come over here, and it went off.
You can almost use that back flap as a stand and just set it down and kind of see if anything comes up.
There we go.
That way you know it's not coming from you. Wow. Reset. That's all over the place.
So if that's going off, if I come over here to this.
Well, she's getting motion. Even though she has like the numbers on her, but she's not getting it. She's only getting motion. Those are two different types of electromagnetic. So she has basically
I'm not getting the same reading.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sitting next to my friend.
this and follow up with them and kind of see where we're at.
Just ask questions. What questions do I ask?
He left you already.
Oh. Did he?
He's in motion.
It's still fucking going the fuck off.
Set it down again.
Look at this.
I'm not seeing the same reading that I did when we first sat down.
All I've heard is Satan Force on a cowboy. Dead ass. I'm resetting it. Keep hearing. Let me see your grills. Let me see your grills.
Nelly?
Your grills.
Nelly, you here?
Nelly, do you hear me? Just kidding. Oh, shit. So it's reading me.
Yeah, it's reading the motion that you're doing. Nah, but when I got my reading and then you came over, that shit was going off.
That shit was good.
Keep moving.
Hey,
We
it's
keep
still going
moving.
off.
Because you're moving now. Yeah, get
My
that.
ass
Get
is
this
wet.
bench.
I'll tell you that. Fucking ass is wet.
Yeah, that's a good bench.
Bro, these are like weird readings.
The tree?
I mean, yeah. Keeps going off. I reset it.
Acorn. Checking out the other benches.
It's so beautiful, and the icing on the cake is that it's like our money is going to something.
see anything in yours?
No.
You recording?
Mm-hmm.
Go up and around.
I did.
Let's walk around one more time. I got my butt wet. I asked out outside. How you feeling? Do you feel anything? She says, oh yeah. She's like, but I can't do anything. I'm with Brittany. I said, I know. The duck. Hold it. What? Bring it up a little bit. You're so short.
Well, no, like, the ghosts aren't going to be up here.
They might be. Flying.
Because all I get was sky if I go up, baby. So if I keep it level, like, I'm keeping it at, like, torso kind of width.
What are we looking for?
I'm looking for blue, which everything is cold. So I have to deviate between what's cold and what's not cold. Or
Innovation.
supposed to be cold.
What's innovation?
Innovative. Innovation? What does innovation mean?
What's innovation? Right.
Now I'm getting things, but the second where I went where hers was going crazy, I got nothing.
Interesting.
Product and innovation.
I'm just saying, I don't want to go back over there.
This shit was just non-stop.
Now,
Red,
the one
blue.
thing that sticks out to me in this location is the term Minnesota that was heard. Here's the weird thing about the spirit boxes that you're using. They often tell me who's going to be on my tour on the following night. Weird thing is like Minnesota, I don't know who's going to be on the tour tomorrow, but if I have, say, we had the name Brandon, if I have a Brandon from Minnesota, that's usually how that works. Or they'll give me their nationality. So I might get Jose, who's Filipino, and I get Jose in Filipino on the previous night that actually occurred. Again, I don't look at your guys' phone numbers or even the names until the morning of when I text you. And I look up all of your area codes to see where you're from for marketing purposes. I'm not a stalker, but I need to know where the hell you guys are coming from so I know how to market. But California, like I see more Californians than I ever thought I ever would this year. It's
Wow.
crazy. But yeah, my heat map for that is absolutely nuts. To stare at it, you're like, holy shit. I think I'm up to 46 states that I have seen people from just this year. So I'm only missing 4 states.
We need to go home.
Even Elle earlier was like, are you in West Virginia? And I was like,
What's funny is West Virginia is one of the states that I'm missing.
oh, not today. Not anymore.
Well, again, based on area code, yeah.
The real 4, baby.
But
It's okay, I bought her ticket.
Right.
It was my 843.
It's for 843, so I put it under South Carolina. So, but
They passed you. I guess I come back again.
I want to thank you all for allowing me to bring you to this location of somewhere I didn't really
Absolutely.
know a whole lot about, but at least I was able to provide something.
Yeah,
So we never know what's actually going to come out of this. So this is, like I said, a new space for me. Any comments or thoughts about the route that we took? Was there too long of a break in between spaces? Was there not enough of a story in one or another?
I had a good time.
I'm not looking for
I had-
compliments. I'm looking
yeah.
for feedback.
No, seriously.
Because like you're very knowledgeable,
worry,
but
we'll
like
get
kind of give us like the guide to like go kind of like figure it out. On our own.
It's like the only thing I wish I was more sober. That'd be cool.
And I think actually it says on your tickets, sobriety is an absolute must. So
Sobriety.
I did not check that box.
you did not.
But everybody else did.
Well, at least you
I
all
did
followed
it.
with the walking shoes. So that's appreciated.
Check.
Here's how this is actually going to go.
Me and
for
that
tomorrow
goes for
morning.
friends.
So those of you that actually, so Brittany and Kerri, you're each going to get a text from me. There's going to be a quick thank you, and at the top of your data page, keep in mind I keep your data on my website for an entire